Konnichiwa minasan, ActOutGames no Presley desu, and welcome to Easy Anime Japanese number 7. And today I'm going to be talking about one of the most important verb forms, the te form. The te form or command form is called that because all the verbs end in te, and it is to tell somebody to do something. There's a lot of bossing around going on in anime, so you'll hear this a ton. It's also the base for a lot of other Japanese verb forms, and we're going to talk about some of those today. If you remember last time, then we learned that every Japanese verb ends in the u sound. Last time, we learned to make a polite verb is you move the ending from the uro to the iro and you add mas, and that's how you make a polite verb. Unfortunately, for the te form, it's not so simple. Each verb ending has a different way you make it the te form. For example, if the verb ends in su, then the te form ends in te. The verb ends in su, then the te form ends in shite. This is just something that you have to memorize. Some people have little songs that you sing. I do not know one, so I can't sing one. Some people use charts to force memorize them. But I think the best way is to have a verb which ends in all the endings and know what their te form is. Like we said, a verb that ends in su, the ending becomes te. For example, the verb Matsu, which means to wait, becomes mate, which means wait. This one gets used all the time in anime. Here is a clip from Sword Art Online where Kirito is leaving the room and Asuna tells him to wait. Mate. Now that you know matsu becomes mate, you know that any verb that ends in su will become te. Using mate by itself is a little rude. The polite way to say it is mate kudasai, and kudasai means please. So that means please wait. A lot of times in anime, instead of doing kudasai, they say kure. Kure is a pretty complicated way to use the command form. So for example, if you're talking with your friends, then kure is kind of polite like kudasai. Depending on your tone, kure could be even ruder than using mate by itself. Be really careful with this one and watch a lot of anime before trying to use this one yourself, because who knows, you could be using it really, really rudely if you're actually trying to speak Japanese. Your best bet is to stick with the kudasai form. Here's a scene where one of the rougher characters in Sword Art Online says mate kure. An example of a polite use of kure is a dying character begs Kirito to finish the final floor boss for him. And he uses the verb Taosu, which means to knock over. Like we said, verbs that end in su change to shite. So taoshite kure means please defeat or knock over. Boss wo taoshite kure. Another example of kure, which isn't really rude or polite, is when they're about to enter the boss floor and the party leader says, everyone listen. He uses the verb Kiku, which means listen, and all the verbs that end in ku turn to te with only one t. So Kiku becomes Kiite. And the party leader says, Kiite kure mina. And mina means everybody if you don't remember. Kiite kure mina. So at the beginning of my vlog, when I say konnichiwa minasan, it means hello everybody. The next verb we're going to learn about is wakaru, which ends in a vowel and then it has ru. This means to understand. These verbs also change to te, so wakaru becomes wakatte. So let's talk about one of the other uses for the te form other than being the command. If you add iru after the te form, then it means I am already doing that. In this scene from Sword Art Online, Asuna is telling Kirito that she already understands by saying Wakatte Iru. Another simple change to the te form is to change the te to ta, and that makes it past tense. So in this scene from Sword Art Online, Asuna is telling Kirito that she understood by saying Wakatta. Wakatta. Another example of past tense is yaru, which means to do, and it becomes yatta, which means I did it. Yaru, like wakaru, ends in a vowel plus ru. Like wakaru, the ru changes to te, so it becomes yatte in the command form and yatta in the past tense. We talk about this as a common Japanese cheer in one of my early books. In this clip from Sword Art Online, they finally finished defeating the first floor boss, and they all scream yatta because it means we did it. The last example of the te format I want to show you today is asking if it's okay, which is after the te, put mo I. In this scene, Kirito asks Asuna if it is okay to sit down. He uses the verb Suwaru, which means to sit. Suwaru is another vowel ru, so it becomes Suwatte. Suwatte Mo I means it's okay to sit down. If you're saying it like a question, like Suwatte Mo I, it means can I sit down? Or you can say Suwatte Mo I ka, using ka, the question marker we learned a few episodes ago.
Suwatte mo ii ka?
In this episode, we didn't cover all of the verb forms, but we covered vowel plus ru, using Suwaru, Wakatte, and Yaru. These all drop the ru and add te with two t's. We also did the su ending with Taosu, where you drop the su and add shite, so it becomes Taoshite. We also did the tsu ending with Matsu, where you take off the tsu and add te with two t's, and Matsu becomes mate. And finally, we did the ku ending with Kiku, where you drop the ku and add te with one t, so Kiku becomes Kiite. You should be able to take any verb that ends in any of these and be able to ask if it's okay or say it's okay, make it into the command form or make it into the past tense form. In the next episode, we will learn about more verb endings and how to put them into the te form, and we'll also learn about other ways to use the te form. Arigato minasan, ja ne!